Hello, I'm Ellen Archer, a mind body coach. To me, mind body coaching means learning to work with our emotions, nervous system, minds, and bodies in ways that allow healing and growth to happen. Really, the mind body connection is returning to what we once knew about being human when the How to Be Human instruction manual was handed down through the generations, through healthy, wise communities whose first priority was a commitment to care for and look out for each other. Our survival depended on our mutual care and all that tried and true handed down wisdom. Now we're left to find our own way, which is possible. I've personally resolved chronic pain, chronic habits, and feel much more connected to how we lived when we lived in caring communities. You'll often hear the term mind body with mind body soul or mind body spirit. I decided 10 years ago now that I'd be a practical mind body coach and just stick with the science and pragmatic side. I'd tune into and help others tune into their own inner wisdom, but I didn't call it soul or spirit or anything like that. Through the years, I kept seeing images and getting confirmation that the images meant something to people, something that was helpful. I took a few classes on intuition, learned I was clairvoyant, but was also told not to close my eyes to get images. I don't know why these teachers thought closing my eyes was bad, but it was the only way I got images, so I was confused, and again, just stuck with the practical mind body coaching. And yet, I kept getting messages and images that helped me and helped others. I finally spoke to an intuitive who said everyone gets information in different ways, and she was sorry that anyone had ever told me that closing my eyes was wrong, and that really helped to hear. I'm not certain of anything. I could end that sentence there. I'm not certain of anything. But what I was going to say is, I have no certainty about where my images come from. Maybe all the information that exists is available if we tune in, or maybe we're soul connected and helper beings relay messages. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe our intuitive abilities are part of being human. Maybe our intuitive abilities are divine. When I decide one thing is true, I get hints and clues that the opposite is true. So I've decided it's not for me to know with any certainty, it's only mine to explore. And I thought maybe we could explore together in a low-key, friendly way, kind of like neighbors talking by the fence, explore our insights and intuition, and maybe expand what's possible. This is 100% an experiment. I've seen a lot of upset lately about the Supreme Court decisions, and I wanted to do a reading on kind of a broad topic of truth and justice in the United States. I'll close my eyes and go over the images I get and how I interpret them. Just still kind of guessing at this point, and if an image or concept seems relevant to you, then use your interpretation, by all means. Like I said, this is just an experiment. I get metaphors mostly, and often too, there can be like a story, like an narrative arc that happens, like a timeline, like a story unfolding. So if you're looking for specific people or situations or predictions, that's not really what I get. I get metaphorical stories, I guess. If this is not your thing, or if you're a client who just likes the practical side, then head on out and find something different to listen to right now. That's fine, absolutely fine. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, first I see a train. It's moving. My point of view is from the platform. The train is on my left. It's leaving the station. My first impression is the train's running on time, like Germany during, under the Nazis. Like horrible things are happening, but the trains run on time kind of thing. Then I see a flower pot on the platform. It's black, it's small, maybe 6 inches wide across the top. And now there is a stream of fire jetting up out of the pot to maybe 3 feet high. And now a face appears at the top of the flame. Like the Wizard of Oz, like the Wizard of Oz face. You know, when he's behind the curtain and showing Dorothy that fiery, scary face. Together with the last reference I'm seeing, this is our version of what's left of the U.S.'s severe right turn. And the current Supreme Court is that continuation, and it's fiery and trying to look scary, but it's small. It's this small pot. And after all, the train has left the station, right? I'd interpret, I think this is where we are, but the flame is going to run out. The pot is small, and it will run out soon, and the man behind the curtain will be exposed. That's my interpretation. That image is gone, so I think that means my interpretation is accurate. Otherwise, the images stick around until I do get at least the interpretation partially right. Okay, now I see someone getting in a car. And now they're turning the key in the ignition. Maybe, again, my interpretation, we're moving on or at least getting things started. And now I see a tunnel moving. I'm moving through a tunnel. I get lots of tunnels, but we're going forward, we're going through, and now I'm seeing columns, maybe like a parking garage, a big parking garage with lots of columns. And there's water moving over the floor of the garage. It's moving through like a flood during a storm. The water is moving fairly fast, like it would during a good-sized hurricane. I see a woman in the water. She's trying to stay in place and not be swept away. Now she's sitting in the water and trying to stand. It's not easy against the current of the water. Now she's flapping her arms like a bird, I guess hoping to get some momentum going, but she's not a bird. But okay, now she's standing, so she did gain some momentum. It's a bit unconventional, but now she's walking. She's walking against the current, which is strong, but she keeps going. My interpretation, I think the water is the strong emotion so many are going through with rights being taken away, and we may feel swamped and in danger of being swept away in all those feelings. But apparently we can get up, might need some unconventional methods to move forward, but we can move forward even against the current. Maybe we have to move against the current, but we can. Now the columns of the parking garage are a pier at the beach. And she's walking out of the ocean, through the surf, walking through the waves toward the beach and onto the beach. She has long gray hair and a white shirt and shorts, I think. Maybe by the time we gain our footing, we'll all have gray hair. Or maybe, no, probably maybe she's our wise crone, that wise woman. That's probably it. We've gone through our emotions and gained wisdom. She's walking along the beach in the direction of the pier now. Oh, that's odd. She's on their shoulders and they're walking forward. I can't make out the figure that's carrying her. It's blurry. I think we'll be carried for the time and it's blurry. I think maybe I'm not supposed to interpret who's carrying her. That would be up to each individual's interpretation, like maybe an ancestor or a helper being of some kind, or maybe represents a community coming together to work together and lift each other up to achieve progress. And now they're walking side by side on the beach, the woman and the blurry figure. So whoever carries us, eventually we walk together side by side. Now she's sitting on the beach, and this is different. There's a large ear on her hip. I might need to spend some time with this image, but I certainly talk to different parts of my body asking what message they have for me. And this looks like we need to talk to our hip. We can store trauma in our hips and unresolved emotions. So needing to hear from our emotions, every emotion has a seat at the table in the mind-body connection. So hearing that and also listening to each other's experience of what we've been through. That seems an important part of moving forward here. My mom had chronic hip pain, so I could spend a lot of time here, but I won't right now. But I'll just add listening to our feminine wisdom that's been stifled for so long, along with creative solutions, listening to our creativity, finding solutions together. Now I see a woman in an expensive hoodie. The hoodie is black with tan around the edge of the hood, which isn't over her head, just off the back of her head. And the tan edging crisscrosses in the front and is around the wrist area too. Oh, and on the front is an angel, very elaborate angel wings, like something you might, oh, it's so beautiful, so intricate, something you might see in a really nice oracle deck. She seems very confident, very comfortable with herself. Now I see a column of energy like a mini tornado, but not at all destructive, and it's coming to the lower part of her throat, the small end of the column of energy, the throat chakra. So energizing her voice for sure. I'm not seeing any other images right now. So overall, I'd say we're experiencing the consequences of heading sharply away from human rights, justice, and truth with the, quote, man behind the curtain, unquote, influencing people's perceptions, trying to scare us, heading towards a type of dictatorship. But we're feeling it, all our emotions, the rushing water, the flood, the woman in the water and her emotions fully, and then finally getting up, trudging forward, coming out of the water, coming out wiser and able to receive help, right? To be carried for a time, and then walking side by side. Also, learning to listen to our bodies, our hips in this case, share our burdens, all of which will give us back our confidence in our voice. Thank you. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you listening to my little experiment. We'll see.